Hi there and happy spring. Spring cleaning your finances is the topic for this video. At this time of year, a lot of people are looking at their financial records and thinking about their tax returns. So this is a great time to think about spring cleaning those records and maybe getting rid of old stuff that you just don't need anymore. How do you know if it's old stuff you could get rid of? Well, did you know that 3 years is the statute of limitations for the IRS to look back at your tax returns and the supporting documentation? That's not very long, is it? Now, of course, that's just for a normal tax return. If there are mistakes in a tax return or, heaven forbid, fraudulent activity, then the IRS can go back as far as 7 years. So if you have items that are more than 7 years old, you might not need them. Of course, there are a few exceptions to this, and that's when we encounter cost basis. So if you think about tangible items that you might have financial records for, you might want to keep those a little longer than the 7-year rule of thumb. What does that mean? Let's say the sale of a home is a good example. If you sold your house, doesn't matter if you have owned it for 7 years, 10 years, 20, 30 years, you will want to have the information and the records on what you originally purchased your house for. I know that could be a long time back there, but you want to have those records, so keep those. Also, if it was ever used as a rental property, you want to have those records, both the improvements that you put in and the rent collected and the depreciation. Most of this is going to end up on your Schedule E if you have rental property, so you want to keep those for as long as you have the property. So home records you want to keep for not indefinitely maybe, but a very long time, at least until you sell the property. Next are tangible assets like stocks and mutual funds and bonds. Though you might also want to keep the records and the information a little bit longer because the companies that hold those for you, they usually figure out the cost basis, but usually only back until 2012 was when they started to be required to do that. So if you've held a stock, for example, for many, many years, you will want to have that information about the cost basis, what you originally paid for it, so that when you sell it, you can establish that. Also, just know that investment companies are not required to hold those records indefinitely. So it is up to you, the taxpayer, to know what your cost basis was. And that's especially true if you also change investment companies, which many people do over the course of their lives. So you might want to hold on to those investment records a little bit longer as well. I hope this was helpful. Remember, the general rule of thumb is if it's older than 7 years, you might be able to get rid of it, might be able to shred, unless it is something that you will need the cost basis information for. Of course, be sure to ask your CPA or your accountant. These are just general rules, and you need to know what is applicable to your personal situation. Happy spring cleaning, everybody, and have a great day.